Donald Trump is having a psychotic meltdown right now. He's been making post after post like this, a weird AI image of himself saying mission accomplished 2026 with an AI image of himself next to the aircraft carriers where our troops are not being fed. And it's next to George W. Bush saying mission not accomplished 2001 to 2021. And I guess Donald Trump wants Americans to remember when George W. Bush said mission accomplished and it wasn't mission accomplished. The same thing that Donald Trump is doing right now. He also has a photo of the Ayatollah on this weird meme. Okay, now this comes at the same time that Iran has thanked China for its public support of Iran. And at the same time, Russia has made it very clear that they intend to intensify and escalate their strikes in Ukraine. Let me talk about what just went down. You had MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, posting the following: "We welcome China's principled statement rejecting illegal sanctions against Iran. The Iran-China Comprehensive Strategic Partnership is rooted in mutual respect, win-win cooperation, and a shared vision for a multipolar world. This relationship needs no one's permission, and China's foreign ministry spokesperson responded to the so-called economic D-Day, and they put that in quotes, saying China is firmly against sanctions that have no basis in international law or UN Security Council resolution. China has made it very clear that it is ignoring Besant and that it is not abiding by the economic D-Day threats." Also, Iran's parliament leader MB Ghalibaf posted a video of Treasury Secretary Besant announcing economic D-Day, but where Besant says, "We're threatening it, but we're not going to do it yet because we don't want to destroy the global financial system yet. So we're going to threaten countries like China, and that's going to make them back down." MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, says, him, referring to Besant, economic D-Day. Also him, 5 seconds later, LOL, why would I want to blow up the global financial system? Sir, this ain't Normandy. This is improv night, and you forgot your own script. Hashtag clown day. That's how they're referring to the Trump regime in Iran. It should also be noted that we're seeing lots of MAGA Republican congressional candidates removing Donald Trump's name from their websites because they know how deeply unpopular Trump is. As I reported this morning, Trump's approval rating in the latest YouGov poll of Americans who strongly approve him is only 13%. So here was a scoop from NBC News over here. Republican House candidate Ralph Alvarado is pivoting his message, editing his website to remove Trump mentions and delete a photo of them together from America First Fighter, and now says independent leadership over here. And this is a district, mind you, that Trump won by 15 points. So they're distancing themselves from Donald Trump in plus 15 Trump districts. And then you got Donald Trump making weird posts of himself when he was in the military academy. And he tries to steal the valor of our service members and act as though he was in the military because he wore a military uniform, because he was very badly behaved growing up. And for behavioral reasons, his family put him in a military academy. I also heard there were other reasons too why they put him, but he wasn't actually in the military. And then he posts this weird photo of himself next to former President Obama. And he goes, Donald Trump, 18, Obama, 18. Trump wasn't 18. This was your military. He just makes up years he just makes up his age. Trump's also posting golden statues that he's gilding gold, just a bunch of deranged behavior right there. This at the same time that we are also learning that Russia has announced its intention. Russia is preparing to escalate attacks on Ukraine after concluding that peace negotiations have reached a dead end, according to Bloomberg, citing 3 people close to the Kremlin. Russia is weighing intensifying conventional ballistic missile strikes on Kyiv, including the city center and infrastructure targets across Ukrainian cities. By now, I'm sure you know that Donald Trump lied to Zelensky and said he would be providing Zelensky with Patriot interceptors, or at least an interceptor license. Donald Trump never provided Zelensky with any of those things. and continued to tap Zelensky along, making Zelensky feel like he was going to get the interceptor license and then didn't. There were also like lots of people yesterday who were critical of my reporting when it turned out that you had the CIA director, John Ratcliffe. He showed up in Russia in the military plane, which is weird that he was in a military plane and not like a Gulfstream plane. People were like, he's going to stand up to Putin and they're going to scare Putin in the Trump regime. And I'm like, Donald Trump's a Putin bootlicker, okay? He's not going there to to threaten Putin, okay? I mean, if anything, they're probably going to like share notes at this point. With all of this going on, you have Defense Secretary Hegseth. Here's what Hegseth said moments ago. We still may go to war. We still may go to war. Just watch us. Here's what Hegseth said. Let's play this clip.
Economic pressure we know hurts them the most right now. But by no means are we foreclosing using kinetic strikes anywhere in the Strait of Hormuz or.
And then just more deranged posts from Donald Trump over here. He posts these things also from like July. Like, okay, dude, it's August 26th. Secretary Scott Bessent delivers remarks at the official unveiling of the Donald Trump Bridge on Interstate 40 in Tennessee. And you saw my reporting earlier today that Donald Trump is saying he's going to destroy the Kennedy Center now and reduce it to rubble unless he's permitted to engrave his name into the Kennedy Center. And maybe he'll create an outdoor pavilion, but he wants the whole thing destroyed. It's like, I'm the only person who can fix it. If I can't engrave my name into it, then I'm going to just reduce it to rubble, and he's again posting that about Bessent. He also posted the following. I don't think the GOP fully grasps how badly they are fucking up right now. Excuse my language, but that's what Trump posted. I'm talking to people who normally have zero interest in politics who are legitimately pissed off. They're not seeing the major reform they thought would happen and are really mad about it. No true accountability, no true mass deportations, no meaningful decreases in the deficit, lots of very long vacations and no work, no bills passed that reduce the government investment in their lives. I'm very worried the GOP is sleepwalking toward a midterm reckoning they don't see coming. Donald Trump's first post this morning was MAGA Mike Johnson is doing a great job. And then he posts this. I don't think the GOP fully grasped how badly they are fucking up right now. Dude, you're the GOP. You're the leader. You control all branches of government and you've destroyed the economy. Things are far more expensive. I talked about the inflation readout this morning. PCE was way hotter than expected, but we all know that from existing. We know that gas prices, diesel prices are at record highs right now. American people can't afford groceries. They can't afford anything right now. Can't afford their rent. And MAGA's controlled everything. And all Donald Trump's talking about is putting his names on things and all their, they devote all their TV time right now to talk about like Hassan Piker. I don't even know what they're talking about. This is state regime media over here. You have the wife of Sean Hannity, Ainsley Earhart, saying, look, socialism's coming to our country. We got to save the country from socialism. Here's what she had to say. Here, play this clip.
I don't know why these Democrats are now trying to distance themselves from him now, why they're criticizing him now. Too little, too late. They're saying it's too little, too late for El Sayed. I'm saying it's too little, too late for all of them. The whole Democratic Party should have said, y'all are all crazy. The socialism thing is not going to work. This will not be good for our country. And I thought it was the younger people that were for socialism because they don't know much about socialism. But these are adults. These are people that have experience. These are people that know individuals from Cuba or Venezuela. They know how socialism works and they want to bring it to America. And it's crazy. We are one generation away from extinction, as Ronald Reagan said. So if socialism comes into our country, then we're all doomed. We need to get dual citizenship and move somewhere at some point.
And then on state regime media, they would spend all of their time talking about Hassan Piker this, Hassan Piker that. What are you even talking about? You realize that Donald Trump has taken control of the means of production of over 30 companies right now. You do realize, right, that Donald Trump has, single-handedly, again, made things significantly worse. He's created wars everywhere, his never-ending war in Iran, where he's now being mocked by Iran and China. And after having John Ratcliffe go to Moscow, the response from Putin is, yeah, we're going to escalate things more, while Donald Trump does not even give the interceptors or the interceptor licenses. And this is what you're talking about here. Let's play it.
Isn't it sort of amazing that here we are sitting in 2026 and the Democrat Party is debating whether racism is a good idea or not, or that they're listening to someone who, refresh my recollection, has never held political office. He's never cast a vote for anything of consequence. I mean, he literally sits in front of a microphone and inflames irrational people. That is his job. Look, 99-point-something% of us could care less what he thinks, but it only takes a couple to do something irrational. Look, 9/11 is a pretty awful thing to say. It's not the only awful thing Hassan Piker has said. So, look, Republicans, they may have some voices they want to deal with. Until Democrats disavow him, then I'm just going to assume you haven't made up your mind about racism yet. Good luck telling folks in Detroit and other inner cities that you haven't made up your mind about racism yet.
Yeah, as Asen, our digital editor, explained, he goes, so far across the past 2 hours on Fox News, there have been 2 dedicated segments on Hassan Piker and close to 30 mentions. That number should climb higher toward the end of the day, as Fox seems intent on making this segment the most thing they talk about most on their show. Like, that's what they're going to focus on, while Donald Trump right there is actually causing pain in people's lives every damn day. They want to distract. They want to confuse because of the destruction that they have caused, while Donald Trump keeps posting these deranged things over and over again all day. I mean, look at this one over here. It's just a list of things that he's saying that he's done. I've protected women in sports. Trump issued an executive order keeping men out of women's sports. That's one of his major accomplishments. Restoring biological truths, he says. Trump issued an executive order restoring the biological truth to the federal government and affirming the reality that there are 2 sexes. She restored the biological truth, everybody. Ending the weaponization of government and promoting free speech. He claims that that's an accomplishment in this ridiculous. He's posted like 50 of these today. I'm not going to show you all 50. Trump issued an executive order ending the weaponization of the federal government against all Americans, including for free speech. You're taking credit for ending weaponization of the federal government against free speech? That's literally all you do every day. You have your own criminal defense lawyer. You've turned the department who leads the Department of Justice. You've turned the Department of Justice into a literal criminal cartel, covering up the Epstein files, covering up child sex trafficking rings. And the only thing you spend your time on is weaponizing it. That's all you do. Wanting to put your name on things, your golden ballroom, and using the DOJ to go after people you don't like. That's it. Anyway, that's what he's doing today. We'll keep you posted every step of the way as he has this mission accomplished, Donald. I still can't get over this meme. Mission accomplished. And he has him, George Bush, and the Ayatollah all on one image. And Trump goes, mission accomplished 2026 next to the aircraft carrier where Donald Trump didn't even feed our freaking troops. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.